All right, so we're back. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday afternoon, August 4th, 2019 AD. This is an addendum to the Sludge report for today. Just a couple of things. You know, I kind of wasn't really thinking about it, but then I actually just happened across something, and these are this definitely will be short. But I found some really good stuff, some things I was looking for before, but I don't know why I didn't find it. Or accidentally closed it or something like that. So, as I said, one of the things that I tend to go look for is the eyewitnesses, people that are being traumatized at that moment, and I'm sure a pretty good impression is being made on what's happening if somebody's shooting people up all around them. So here's a couple observations, okay, that I find to be very common in these kinds of shootings. Number one, there's generally eyewitnesses saying, and even authorities, for some time as the story gets traction, that there are multiple shooters. Then it becomes a lone wolf. Well, I'll give you that, sure, people could be mistaken, right? It could happen. But why does it happen every time? Something to think about. Now here is an eyewitness. El Paso eyewitness describes 4 men all dressed in black as shooters. I mentioned this in the video before, and I couldn't, maybe not the black part, but that there was up to like 4 shooters. And this is, I don't know who 44 Connected is. Grainy pictures of Patrick Crusius do not match up with eyewitness description. Question mark of whether or not this is a false flag. And if you don't know, a false flag is basically somebody doing a self-inflicted wound and blaming someone else. In this case, it would be people who want to further the gun grab type of destroying and increasing regulation, destroying your God-given right to bear arms in this country, the United States, and then blaming it on their scapegoat of the day. In this case, it's going to be your young white male who's a racist, right? There's a campaign to make young white males either angry, murderous, racists, or weaklings. At any rate, confusion. Okay, let's see here. So this is from the Daily Mail, and we'll go to that article in a second, but let's just play the video. It's in Spanish, and if you can't see this, I guess I could translate it for you, but or I'll tell you what it says. So here we are at the Walmart. Now, one thing I want you to notice, I don't know exactly what time this was taken, but this is still on the scene. There's emergency vehicles here, but this is another thing, and we'll see this. I'll show you in multiple instances that must cover different angles and I'm sure different time periods. Remember, 20 people were killed. They say 20. And then a lot of injured people. Another very telling thing I find in these incidents is a lack of ambulances, a disproportionate number of ambulances. At the Garlic Festival, we counted 3, and nobody was around them. The back doors weren't open. The lights weren't on. They were just parked there. Very odd. So let's watch this. Okay, I'm just going to read it in case it's on your phone. You can't really read it. As we were waiting to pay, I saw some men run in shooting. Now, you think she was mistaken? She's standing in the checkout line, and she sees men, plural, run in shooting. It gets better. It's a 1-minute long little clip. The interviewer asks her specifically, was there more than one person? Was it various people? She nods yes, and you'll hear her say sí, which is yes in Spanish.
Más que una persona. Okay. Por lo menos 2.
He asks if there was at least 2. She corrects him. There were at least 3 or 4 people. What do you think she was seeing? Double? Triple? Quadruple? Is she cross-eyed? I don't think so.
¿Y cómo estaban vestidos?
How are they dressed? They were dressed in black.
Okay. So you saw more than one person dressed in black shooting inside the Walmart.
Andaban ya uniformados como policías.
Were they dressed in uniform like police? That's a very good question. She says no. She says, I didn't see their faces. I saw them all dressed in black. Now remember, this is Texas. This is South Texas. Somebody's all dressed in black. That's going to stand out. Think about it. It gets hot. The darker your clothing, the hotter it gets. It's a pretty sunny day there. And they were the ones, plural, shooting because I could see their, plural, weapons, plural, and the bullets firing. You know, this is very puzzling evidence. You must consider the evidence. Eyewitness testimony is powerful evidence, especially when you have multiple people saying the same things. What's she stand to gain?
Yo los vi todo de negro y traían shorts puestos, no traían pantalón, eran shorts.
Ah, ok.
Y eran ellos los que iban disparando, porque yo lo más vi las pistolas largas cuando ellos iban así, porque yo miraba la lombriz, la lombriz que miraba.
So she saw 4 individuals running in there in shorts, all dressed in black, shooting back and forth, and that's pretty much what she did.
Okay, once again, and I saw in another video, this is really the only, maybe one ambulance. This is like an emergency response unit, this little bus or whatever. There's the Walmart. That's probably a government vehicle. That's probably a shopper's vehicle. There's a police car, another SUV type, could be a government vehicle, another one. You know, these black SUVs tend to be, they can be official vehicles. No ambulances. Imagine a Walmart with 20 people killed and who knows how many injured that maybe they haven't even discovered yet. I don't even hear a siren. It's very puzzling evidence. It's a tell. Just keep it in mind. It's a data point. We're painting a mosaic of what really happened or what didn't happen. We don't know. So there's that. Okay. Now, another interesting tell, as I said in the other video, I just put in video Walmart El Paso. All the way down here, I found maybe two videos which would be someone who filmed inside the Walmart. The one we've already seen, and that is this one of the person hiding under the, right here, cell phone video from inside El Paso Walmart during today's mass shooting. That was 19 hours ago. I put in video Walmart El Paso. We can put in cell phone. We can put in inside. Okay, what's going to come up? We're going to get anything substantial? How many people were in there? How many people had phones? Okay, well, this is the one on top. We don't really see much. Somebody running. Where's the video of the shooters? Where's the video? Well, we're going to play the video again of this guy right here. I want you to listen. Another thing that, again, just like when we look at the horrible journalism, what passes as journalism, or what we're supposed to believe is, and we're being conditioned to believe is journalism, the things they don't say, the questions they don't ask. When you hear these gunshots, they sound very uniform. Well, what difference does that make? Well, when you're swinging a gun around, when you're moving around, which is reasonable to believe that's what's going on, you're going to get a change in the characteristics of the sound. Okay, well, it's a cell phone. Let's just give the benefit of the doubt that we don't hear that. But what you don't hear is anyone screaming who's getting shot, or anyone saying no or begging for their life. It's an important missing piece of information. Let's play this. Let's just listen. Now, I don't know how many shots there were. Half dozen or more. We'll hear more. No screams. Now here's another one. You've got this may be the mall, maybe in the Walmart, not sure. I wanted to point this out earlier in the video. You find the responders, police usually dressed in military gear, barking at the people who are potential victims. Believe me, these police and people would be in the line of fire too, but they are standing around either very calm or barking and screaming, telling everyone to keep their hands up, and making them, humiliating them, really, treating them as if they're the criminals. It's a joke. Now, that may be their procedure, but what's the point of that? Well, if they have their hands up, then they don't have the weapon and they're not the shooter. Really?
Go! Come on! Hands up! Hands up!
This time we have ruled out.
Hands up, like they're at boot camp. I find it not really amusing. It's a bit disturbing. When you see a school shooting, they have all the students walking across the campus with their hands up like sitting ducks. If there's still an activated shooter running around, they don't have them pinned down, yet they'll march them out in broad daylight. Why wouldn't they have them herd them into the back room where they know there's not a shooter? No, they're walking them around, and they didn't know how many gunmen there were. They thought there was more than one. Don't forget that. The context is that there were multiple shooters. Yet they bring people out from, hiding behind the clothing racks or hiding, and they put them up defenseless, hands up.
Out multiple shooters. It's still active, but as of right now, it's still active. But this time we have ruled out multiple shooters. It's still active,
shooters,
but
it's still active. So that he's not sure, but he's saying that they've ruled out multiple shooters, but that's what they believe to start. It always starts that way, doesn't it?
Right now we have one person in custody.
Now, maybe it's this story, maybe it's another one. Walmart has security cameras. A lot of crime happens in Walmart parking lots across the nation. They have cameras. Next time you go to Walmart, you'll notice them. I just told you about it. You'll notice the cameras. So we don't know what vehicle he drove up in. How did he get there? That's an important question. I haven't heard anybody asking it. Haven't heard the story. Where is he parked? Somebody drop him off? Very important question. Not asked. Another thing is, they were able to release these stills. And Walmart has video, and how many, and all you get is this, like, it looks like they took the pictures with a potato. Give me a break. Let's see here. Let's look at some comments. By the way, I did go read his quote-unquote manifesto. Pretty remarkable essay, if you will, from a 21-year-old. Yeah, it was very interesting, all the things that the guy said. It was almost like it was scripted. It just hit all the talking points. Let's see here. Here's a guy. Walmart has hundreds of cameras. Where's the footage? Exactly. We won't get it. Let's see here. He said multiple shooters. Where are the other ones? People have ears. They hear things. Here's a vigilante. Just give me 5 minutes alone with the shooter. Now, this is important. Earlier in the other video, maybe you haven't seen it yet, or maybe you're watching it now, or maybe you didn't watch it and you're just going to go for the condensed version here. We're going to look at, I found the video, by the way, of him being arrested, or at least the stills. I can't remember if it's a video or not. 5 minutes alone with the shooter. By the time I'm done, he'll have broken teeth, arms and legs, no fingernails, a severed foot, and lots of volts thrown through his body. You think he's the only person? What about the people who are related to people who were allegedly gunned down, or nearly lost their life, or just because they're wounded, it doesn't mean that 20 people were shot to death, killed on the spot, and then the other couple dozen all had scratches. Maybe they lost an eye. Maybe they're paralyzed now, right? So where am I going with this? When you see how they arrested the guy like it's like he's been jaywalking, they don't throw him in a vehicle. He's standing around. It's very puzzling because he is actually, you know, they get a guy like that alive. First of all, the FBI wants to, ostensibly, just like they study serial killers and things like that, they want to know about the guy, you know? So he's valuable for research and study, ostensibly. But here they have this guy standing around that any Lone Ranger like this could take out very easily. So, all right, here someone says, LOL, this is stage. AK-47 is banned in the U.S. How do you get this? That's not true. And why Walmart of all places? Walmart is in line with the Department of Defense. Yes, government's own Walmart. Well, there is some relationship, I believe, that they can turn them into FEMA camps in a disaster or in event of something else that's more sinister than a disaster. Why are they promoting the gun agenda? They try to strip gun owners of their rights. They need to figure out some way to do a Nazi Hitler tactic to leave the Americans defenseless. Then Walmart involved with 3 other mass shootings somewhere else. Come on, this is BS. All right. Here's someone, and again, the Goyim no. Honestly, so sick of people immediately pushing for gun control like it would just fix everything when they don't even take a second to consider the serious mental health and bullying issue we have that so often leads to these shootings. So there's those issues, but another thing I want to point out to you, that the headline, let's pull up the Drudge Report here. It's probably still up there in red, blood red, fire engine red, get your attention red, be alarmed, be afraid red. So, well, this is a new one. Mexico vows to take legal action against USA after El Paso shooting. I don't know what that's going to be about. But what is not being focused on? How many Americans are actually killed through drunk driving, robbery, rapes, murder, theft? You know, how many American citizens born here are killed every year by these invaders? Well, I think a number, it's like over 4,000. I don't know. You can look it up. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave a comment if I'm wrong. Here comes a video up here. I guess this came out the end of June because I went and I started to watch it, but I'm not a Madonna fan whatsoever. And she came out the video, Madonna, quote unquote, God control sounds alarm on shootings. And the video starts off with a warning that there's gun violence in there. You're going to see it. So God control, gun control. You can see the relationship here. It's all about gun control. And the headlines, they're telling you this stuff's important. This is what we're going to focus on. But we're not focusing on the... I mean, you could have this Chicago every weekend just about. 8 dead, 9 dead, Chicago, where you can't have a gun, basically. You effectually, I mean, you really have to have gone through a lot of red tape if you're going to own a gun in the city of Chicago, if you can have one at all. I'm not sure about that, but it's pretty much a gun-free city, except for the criminals, you know, and they're killing each other every weekend. Okay, so at any rate, once again, it's the art of misdirection. I've mentioned it for various different topics. The art of misdirection. So this will be in the news cycle for, I'll give this one 7 to 10 days. This one won't go away. They'll talk about it, but as far as it being real, you know, the Democratic debates were I didn't watch them, but from what I hear, they were a blank show. You know, this kind of helps take the focus off of that. You know, there's usually multiple layers of purposes. And again, you may be really having a hard time with this because it sounds like I've presumed that this is a constructed, staged event. I don't know whether anyone really died or not. Where are the ambulances? Very curious. So, let me see. Did we watch this?
were reports of gunfire in several locations, mainly at Walmart and the Cielo Vista Mall.
Now that's interesting. So, you know, they narrowed it down, broke it down to it was only at the Walmart. Now, if we see we will see in a minute. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. There's our friend, the witness, who told us that she saw 4 people. Here is the aerial layout of the right here. Okay. As I said before, I like the Daily Mail. They tend to have long articles with lots of photos and information. Here's Sam's Club. Here's the Walmart Supercenter. Here's the Chula Vista Mall. Now, they're not connected. That's quite a ways. So, who's reporting there were gunshots in the Chula Vista Mall? They need to bring them up on charges of false reporting because they diverted resources over to the Chula Vista Mall. If there was no shooter over here, why was somebody reporting that, you know, here's your police chief or somebody telling us that there were reports of gunfire in the Walmart and also in the Chula Vista Mall. That's weird, isn't it? Let's listen.
The initial reports of the weapon was a rifle.
Now that looks like the mall. You know, you got these gates drawn down. Very interesting. I just noticed this. Notice the floor where we're getting the video from, the black and white checkers. Well, that's a Freemason thing. Coincidental? I don't know, but these things always pop up in these things. It's another little data point. How meaningful is it? I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just a Freemason-owned store. They're inside there and they're filming, getting the footage of the military, effectually the military. Look at these guys coming in, their gear. Okay, so here we have a guy walking a woman back into the Walmart. I mean, this whole scene is very bizarre. I don't know what time it was when this happened. I don't know, is he a motorcycle cop? Look at his helmet here. It looks like a motorcycle cop, but he's got this rifle. That seems weird. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if that means anything. He looks like, you know, Punch and John, Chips, except blue pants and not tan. That's, or maybe it's riot gear. I don't know. But this woman has blood stains. She doesn't, maybe her arm is, maybe she was grazed. Maybe she shot through the, I don't know. Walking her back in. I don't see an ambulance back here. Sits her down. Okay, observe the parking lot. We're gonna get many angles and photographs of the parking lot. You got your popo all in their military uniforms and gear, their weapons, and no ambulances. No ambulances, just some police cars. And again, here's this big shooting. What are these people doing? What are they doing? Okay, those were people on scene. It wasn't just shoppers. There's an ambulance. One ambulance. Let's see. They're desperately asking locals to donate blood to help victims taken to the hospital. Okay, so you could say, well, they all came and went. All the ambulances got there, got everybody out, and they're gone off to the hospitals. Okay, maybe. But I find every one of these shootings, you'll find a very serious lack of ambulances or ambulances that are not doing anything. They're unattended, just parked and not even in a spot that you would think an ambulance would be. That happens. Okay, he's coming in here. I guess we could look up the address. I don't know. Maybe there's the mall. Again, police cars, guy in his military weapons and outfits. No more ambulance. Just the one ambulance. No ambulances down here. No ambulances over there. Kind of weird. All right, so let's move on to the Daily Mail. And I think this is the same. well, anyway, there's a picture of the shooter. I don't know where they got this photo, or if that's his, you know, they put him in prison clothes already, but he was wearing a blue shirt. He looks drugged out. I said earlier in another photo, I thought, you know, he maybe, my odds were he looked Jewish. In this picture, he could be Hispanic. You know, it's very odd. And this woman here, I find interesting. So this woman was killed, and we'll find out in another article. Let's see here. Let's just go through this. Let's see. He already confessed to opening fire, so they got him to confess. Long-held animosity towards Mexican immigrants. Well, I don't know what his background is. I don't know. I haven't done a search on what last name Crucius is. It could be Greek. I don't know. He doesn't look like a white guy. You know what I mean? But close enough. He has the manifesto that makes him the angry white guy. Let's see here. So there he is here. Let's see the goatee and everything. Let's see if we see it. Isn't that picture horrible? They've given us a picture with a potato. How do they catch any thieves? If somebody walked out of here with a television or something in their grainy photographs and they hand that over to the detectives, what could they do with that? About nothing. Even this, it's horrible. So I did go look up the AK-47 WASR-10 or something like that it was. And one curious thing, I did find him with the lighter colored stock. What's curious though is this magazine almost looks like a piece of wood. It's just strange. I mean, it could be taped up. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. It's just interesting. Let's see. Less than 20 minutes before the shooting. Yeah, here maybe we'll get some more information on this. I mentioned in the other video. Crucius allegedly uploaded a twisted and seething anti-immigrant manifesto to online forum outlining his sickening motives. So he uploaded this 20 minutes before the shooting. By the way, when I read it, he wrote that he wasn't going to surrender because it would be worse to surrender. He also said he needed to do this, that he didn't really plan very well, that his gun wasn't really suited for this, and he didn't really do a lot of planning, and that he won't surrender. If he does get captured, it'll be because they subdued him. Now that's important. And he said he needed to do this. He needed to do this now, otherwise he'd lose his nerve. Now, someone who is worried about losing their nerve, again, you got to just think about it. I don't know. Just because he had feelings doesn't mean he couldn't do something like this. But you think about a guy who's worried about losing his nerve. He's nervous about it, but he manages to go in and carry something like this out. I mean, that's the level of ice cold non-humanity that takes is pretty extreme. We talked earlier that a lot of soldiers have trouble even in a war situation taking the life of a fellow man. Footage shows people hiding during a Walmart shooting. So let's play this again. We'll hear the pops. You don't hear a sound changing. Okay, well maybe you don't hear any dynamics. What's the point of that? Well, you can go online. You could create a video like this and add in gunshots. Well, that's just crazy. No, it's not. It's been shown that people have pulled out these clips from movies and say that's from a movie. They put into a video. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but you know, this is not my first rodeo. Okay. Okay. Hear the long amounts of silence. Nobody's screaming. You don't hear children crying and screaming. You hear a voice or two. This is a Walmart. In all my years, I still have not figured out the best time to go to Walmart other than just crawling with people, and I got to wait in line. They never have enough cashiers, get good parking. There's just not people to navigate around. What about you? I guess maybe if you go at 4 a.m, or, maybe really late on a Saturday night, or, there are some times, but this is on an afternoon. Remember when this happened? Saturday afternoon. I believe it was afternoon. Saturday afternoon In El Paso, it's like the busiest Walmart, somebody was saying in the comments, in the entire area. And here, listen to what we don't hear. How much silence is that? Well, Uncle Benny, they're just being quiet. They don't want they don't want the shooter to know where they are. When people are fearing for their lives, they're not thinking straight. They're panicking. Women in particular are going to lose control of their emotions. Children. You don't hear anybody dying. You don't hear anybody, well, maybe they're all headshots and they just dropped them. Maybe. I don't know. We're looking at the evidence. And by the way, I would have to say this guy doesn't look hidden very well. His legs are sticking out. Got a lot of room over here. What's your point? Well, people can when something like this is staged, there are pieces that are put together at different times. Just like when people shoot a movie, they don't always shoot the beginning sequentially. They'll do different scenes out of order, and then on the editing room floor, they put it, or in the editing room, they put it all together. All right, so this is important. Okay. Jordan Enshando, who was shot while shielding her 2-month-old son from gunfire. Her heartbroken sister, Lita Jamrowski. Now, this is a white woman. It looks like, I don't know if this is her married name, her sister, or not, but you'll see a picture of her. She was married to, it looks like a Hispanic man, so we got some misogyny going on, which race mixing is what the guy called it in his manifesto. Now, how did he know this woman was married to a... I mean, it fits the news story, fits the theme really well. Race mixing. Then he happens to kill a white woman who's married to a Hispanic guy. Interesting. Was the husband there? Well, shoot. This picture here and the picture I just showed you. Okay, great. We just lost the article. One moment. I accidentally closed it. Okay. Here it is. Targeted Hispanics, but he shot that white woman. And she was married to a Hispanic guy. That's very curious, isn't it? What a lucky guy. Just happened to get the very person he hated who looked like a beautiful young white woman. That's interesting. It's just a data point. It's just curious. Just puzzling evidence. How did that happen? Yeah, maybe he got lucky. You're right. Plausible deniability. Maybe he got lucky. And I don't mean in a good way, you know. From the baby's injuries, they said that more than likely my sister was trying to shield him. Okay, we have our hero. Every one of these stories is another thing you'll find out. There will be stories of heroism. Well, Uncle Benny, of course. I mean, people do rise to the occasion. Well, nobody rose to the occasion of breaking out a gun in the Walmart and firing back. Nobody in that entire Walmart or mall area, in Texas, mind you, had a gun, legally or illegally. They were defenseless. They're always shooting fish in a barrel, aren't they? That's curious. I find that very curious. So when she got shot, she was holding him and she fell on him. That's why he broke some of his bones. He pretty much lived because she gave her life. Well, her life was taken from her. She didn't give her life. Jamrowski said she fears her brother-in-law, Andre Anchando. Now we're going to see a picture in a minute, and you'll see what I mean. Here they are. I can't see his face, but by the last name, here's the white woman, killed, hero, saving her baby. And there she is kissing a brown man. I don't know. Maybe he's Asian. Maybe he's Spanish from Spain. Whatever. How about that? The guy who writes a manifesto about Hispanics and even race mixing, talks about that in there, happens to find a mixed couple and got her. That's really weird, in my humble opinion. So he drove 650 miles down here to do this. Now, nobody's asked the question, had he made the trip before? Did he stay in a hotel? You know, they already have so much information already. They've already know what his neighborhood was like, and they've interviewed his classmates, and they already have talked to the relatives of the victims. I mean, it's amazing the alacrity with which these news people get these things out. It's kind of curious how it's all ready to go. I find it always very puzzling how fast stuff comes out, but then other questions are never asked. Pull up his credit cards. Did he have credit cards? That gun, I didn't go looking too hard, but it was like an $800 gun. Where did he get $800? Did he have a job? Do you know? You don't know. They haven't said. What do we know about him? Did he have a job? Have a big allowance? They did say he grew up in a wealthy area. Okay. Another thing curious thing is the guy drove to El Paso Walmart just without any kind of reconnaissance mission to go scope it out first. But yet, he was able to, shoot up, like it sounds like, at least 40 people. 20 of them died, if not more, who were hit. It's remarkable. Remarkable. Let's see. So here's a picture of him here. This is a terrible photo of him in the back of probably a squad car. Kind of looks like, I don't know what this could be, an artifact. Almost looks like a sunroof. I don't know. Again, these are details you'd have to pay attention to, because sometimes there'll be a dead giveaway of something that you're like, because the Lord overthrows the wicked, confounds their plans. They slip up, just like liars can't tell they can't keep their story straight. A lying tongue's a slippery thing. The lies catch up to people. A former neighbor of Crucius, Leanne Locasio, said he was very much a loner and very standoffish. Didn't interact a whole lot with anyone. So we're supposed to believe her, yet we don't get to believe the woman who saw 4 shooters. Think about that. You're going to hear from all these witnesses of what their opinions were. Their opinions, their feelings. Maybe they didn't know what friends he had. Maybe he was involved in extracurricular activities and he just didn't participate at school, So, or maybe he was a loner. I don't know. All right, let's see here. They say the gunman wearing what appears to be ear defenders and cargo pants. Now remember cargo pants. Okay, this is going to be important in a second. First opened fire in the parking lot outside the door, killing locals that were fundraising outside the Walmart selling water. Now I saw a video. I went to liveleak.com. LiveLeak is a place that people upload all kinds of videos, car accidents, it's kind of horrible, but you can find raw video there. And if any place it's going to, YouTube might take something down that's graphic or put a warning on it or who knows. But LiveLeak doesn't. So I watched the video where I had said that I don't know if it was a body or could have been in the other video I mentioned. I did see a blurred out area in the parking lot. How do we know it wasn't duffel bags? I mean, could have been anything. It's all blurred out. Well, it did look like a person laying there. There was no real pool of blood. And then the guy, it's just curious how he's just filming. He isn't helping anybody. And then there's another woman who says, help me turn him over, because he approaches, like, you get up to the Walmart and there was like a little tent there, so maybe they were getting signatures or doing fundraising or something. And there's a lady kind of laying face down on the sidewalk. No blood. Well, maybe if they turned her over, there'd be a big hole in her. I don't know. But no blood. People bleed. They get shot. And even if there was blood, all I need to do is remind you of the Boston bombing, where you see a woman with a blood bag in her purse and a little tube that she's making blood pools on the sidewalk. Oh, did that just freak you out? You don't know anything about that? Like I said in the other video, it's not my first rodeo. You got to understand what's going on in the world, the level of deception. I mean, put 2 and 2 together. Hollywood movies. You watch them all the time, don't you? And they can do amazing things with film and with movies. But if you see it on the news, it has to be real. I'm here to tell you, it's not. It's often not, or it's not what they're telling you it is. And this is starting to look like that to me. There's enough data points. I don't know if I need to get a checklist to say, okay, if my money's on this, was this a activated shooter? Remember that word. You had it for free. Not an active shooter, activated shooter. In fact, active shooter may come from that. We activated our asset, right? All right, so cargo pants. It's important. He then walked through the front door in a calm and confident state as if he was on a mission, a witness said. Interesting language. Why is that interesting? Because if he is an activated shooter, he is in a calm and confident state. Hypnotic state? Was he on drugs? Was he in an altered personality? I don't know. The 20-minute massacre. Now remember, don't forget, the woman said she saw 4 men come in dressed in black, spraying the bullets everywhere. And she kind of goes back and forth with her arms, swinging around the guns. 4. Let's just for argument's sake, let's just say it was 2. That's a big difference. It's more than a dime's bit of difference, isn't it, between a lone shooter walking confidently, but is on a mission that we have grainy photos of, and 2 shooters or 4 shooters or 3 shooters. There's a big story behind that if there's more than one. First of all, they're still out there, aren't they? At a press conference, El Paso Police Chief Greg Allen confirmed that the suspect was 21-year-old from Allen, but declined to name him. They already had he's on the scene. They already had the manifesto from the guy. They found it on 8chan. How did they do that so quickly? It's possible, sure. Okay. Weekend, El Paso attracts droves of shoppers from Mexico. 3 Mexican nationals are among the dead. Okay. Let's see here. So here's the Chula Vista Mall. There's emergency vehicles out here. Remember they said they heard gunshots over here. They were reported. No ambulances here. Remember, there's still shoppers and people leaving. How long after this? How long after this alleged shooting or reports of shots? Where are the ambulances? Panicked shoppers flee. Here people come out. No waiting ambulances. Again, is the scene secure? Why wouldn't they put all these people in the back of a room and defend them? Remember in the mall, the video we saw where they had the you've seen it when you go in the mall, closing time, they're pulling down the steel gates. Really, the policy is you're going to walk everybody out when you don't know where the active shooter is? This is bizarre. This is a theater of the absurd, my friends. So here you go. Here's one witness captured the moment the suspect, believed to be Crucius, was taken into custody on Saturday afternoon. The reported suspect lives some 650 miles away from the scene. Now, look here at the guy being walked by, as I mentioned in the other video, an officer. It's the suspect, if you look at his hips here and this guy's hips, he's taller. He's got his arms behind his back. It's one dude. They're on a street corner. That's nowhere near the entrance of the Walmart. Remember, they said he surrendered inside the Walmart. What's he doing over here? No, I've never been to this. Never been to El Paso, and I've never been to this Walmart. But I can tell you with certainty, let's go look. That's the intersection with the street light. Let's go look at the map again, just to see if we see anything that stands out. Okay, where is it? Maybe it was in the other article. Maybe it's over here. Okay. Not sure. Look at this picture here, okay? Now look at this picture. Is this the same guy? Okay, I'm kind of getting mixed up on where my photos are. Here, wait, first of all, here's our map. Here's a Walmart Supercenter. He surrendered, remember, he surrendered inside the Walmart. The next thing you know, we see him being arrested on a corner where there's a street light. I don't know. Maybe there's one in here. Maybe. Where was he? Where was he being arrested? You know, think about it. If he surrendered in here, they would have had to walk him out to this corner, to this corner, to this corner. Even if there's one like right there. Well, let's look at that picture. Sidewalks. Sidewalks. Remember what I said? They marched the people out. Hands up, hands up. They march them out. They could have put any one of these. They could have put two of these guys in the front of the store, and all these stores have a back room, right? Clear the area, put people in safety behind a gate with your armed soldiers, basically. Instead, no, they say hands up, and they parade them out when they don't know where the shooter is or how many there are. Isn't that puzzling evidence? It ought to be. Okay, here's a picture of the guy here. Yes, people do look different in different circumstances and pictures, but I just find it. Remember, there's his face. There he is there. Look at him here. Is that the same guy? I don't know. Let's just say it is, okay? Boy, he sure does. He sure does look different in every photograph. Now, back to the cargo pants. Here's your cargo pants. Here's your big pocket. Big pocket, big pocket. All right, puffs out. Let's look at our suspect here being arrested. Okay, that's not a very good picture. Somebody else pointed out their slacks. There's another one. So here he is. Now again, let's look at this. Where are they? Where are they walking him to? How did he get up here out of the Walmart? Where is this one guy taking him? Look, there's a guy walking down the street. Does he know he's walking next to this mass murderer? Right there. See the guy? Just a civilian. That guy could have shot him. Shot him dead in a rage. No, he's just walking him around. They didn't put a bulletproof vest on him or anything. Just walking him casually along. It's strange. You need to think about that. Here he is. Okay, here's our good shot of the cargo pants. Well, I don't know. Let's get a on-screen magnifier and see if we can. Now, you may not be able to see this. I hope you can. Let's just take a look. Okay, maybe there's a pocket there. I don't know. Inconclusive. This kind of looks odd. Look at his face. Is that the same guy? It just kind of, you know, he changes every picture. It's very weird. Cargo pants. Let's go back up and look. Well, you're flogging this to death. It doesn't even matter. It is important. It is important. Is this our guy? I don't know. It's hard to say. Somebody else pointed it out. It didn't look like the same pants. One looks like slacks. One looks like cargo pants. I don't know. It's too close to tell, let's say. But this is definitely odd. This is a tell. See the guy walking? Just walking along in a t-shirt and jeans. Black guy. And they've got him on a street corner. I don't know where they're walking him to. But it's far away from the Walmart. That's strange. It's very strange. Look where they're located. Remember our map. Where are they? Here's a bus. Here's traffic. And they got this guy with the mass murderer. How'd they get him over there? Walmart Supercenter. Where is that street? I don't know. Is it Viscount Boulevard? Is it Sunmount Drive? Is it Interstate 10? I don't know. It looks like a 4-laner. 2 lanes here, 2 lanes there. Maybe more lanes. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to tell you in this video, but it's just strange. Remember, here's the Walmart, and he's out on some corner somewhere. It's just strange. People holding their hands up. This is going to be very disturbing to watch.
Go, go, go! Come on! Hands up, hands up!
All line out there.
See cops standing around. Just,
Hands up, hands up!
All line out there.
see how calm they look? It's just, not looking around vigilant for a shooter, just observing the people walking by. No, to be fair, maybe I'm not, maybe they're looking the people up and down. I don't know. I'm just saying, but use your sense. I tell you what, they're bossing me around. I want to know where they're walking me to. Where is the guy? Where is the shooter? You think any of them could tell them? How many of them are there at that point? Do you think they could tell them? Well, if there's more than one, I don't really want to be walking around with my hands up out the front door into the parking lot where I'm a sitting duck. I don't know if this is Dillard's or if this is, doesn't look like a Walmart to me. Somewhere in the mall.
Keep going! Run out that way!
It's just weird.
Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Hands up! Hands up!
What if you put your hands down? There's a guy who has his hands down. What are they going to do? Tackle you? Shoot you in the back? Hands up. You surrender. I have my hands up. Surrendering your guns, surrendering your rights, surrendering your dignity, surrendering your own autonomy to find a place to hide. I don't know. You could argue with me on that. Guy's got his groceries or his packages.
Your hands up, baby.
It's just amazing the amount and how fast remember these people are all in there. Those people are suited up in their riot gear, their armored gear. How many of these LEOs, law enforcement officers of one branch or another, dressed in military gear, they get there? There's so many of them. It's quite alarming. Now, El Paso's not a tiny town, but still remarkable. I always marvel. How do they know the shooter is there's not another one up here? Take him out, start shooting down. Should have been an officer up there, right? I wouldn't want to walk. The guy's got a vantage point up there.
You're okay. Come on now. You're okay. You're okay. Sir, you all are okay. You're okay. You're safe. You're walking. Run.
Did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Hands up, hands up. Did you see or hear anything?
So this isn't exactly a point I'm trying to make here about the hands up thing. You just heard the guy say again, hands up, hands up. But that officer or another officer right there in the same little area is saying, you're okay, you're okay. Basically, you're safe now. But they're telling them, barking at them to put their hands up.
Did y'all see or hear anybody? Okay. Anything? Did anybody hear or see any gunshots? Okay, let's go. Let's go.
See, there you go. They don't even know. This would be, I would believe, the Chula Vista Mall. They had reports of gunshots. They're clueless. They don't know. Is there a shooter in there or not? But yet they're parading people around through the whole thing in open areas with their hands up. Now just give that some thought. Now either that's very dumb or, well, anyway, I just find it pretty amazing. So automatically, somebody made the poster in time for the, I guess it's not too hard. No more guns. No more guns. Let's see here. Civilians. Police arrived at the scene 6 minutes after the gunman first opened fire. Now you think about that. I don't know, was it just your local patrolman? Or was it these guys in their military gear? That's a question I want to know. I'd want to talk to police and say, I want to know which division, which people were on the scene first. 6 minutes. That's pretty darn fast to gear up like that and get there. Let's see. 21-year-old was taken into custody without incident. Remember, his manifesto said he wasn't going to surrender, that he would be subdued. Officers didn't fire any shots during the arrest. That's interesting. Currently, prosecutors say and the guy said it would be worse to be captured. He actually expected he would be killed by police. Currently, prosecutors say they're seeking capital murder charges. Let's see. Just a minute. Going to get somewhere with this. Okay, here's another observation. Now, it's a still, and it's not super close up, but it's a sunny day. She's grimacing like she's crying, right? Terrorized, crying. Maybe she saw somebody's brains blown out. There's no tears. There's no tears. Everybody grieves differently, Uncle Benny. Okay, everybody in these shootings never seem to really cry. They're hugging. No tears. You can tell, okay? Somebody's face is wet with tears. Look at all these folks. Look at this guy. No tears, no tears, no tears, no tears, no tears. Woman hugging. These look like two Walmart employees. Think what just happened. They work there, right? No tears. No, doesn't look like tears. Just people standing around on their phone. Look at her eyes. Looks like she's in agony and all shaken up. No tears. What are you saying, Uncle Benny? They're all in on it? I don't know. It could be. You would never believe what people would do for money. You would never believe what people will do if somebody has something on them. You would never believe the things that people would do if it fits their own beliefs and agenda and getting paid to do it as well. They're doing it out of duty. They believe in the cause. Yeah, it happens. So there's a prayer service. Let's see. Here's our lady that said there was more than one person, said it was 4 guys dressed in black in Texas on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Come in waving guns around. But we're to believe all the other testimonies, but we can't believe hers. Alicia Balland, who lives 4 houses down from the Crucius family, said a retired couple lives at the home associated with the suspect. She described them as sweet people who regularly attend church. Now look at this young guy. Looks happy, social with his family. Yeah, I don't know. What happened to him? Okay. No ambulances. Here's some kind of truck. Could be a service vehicle, could be a news truck, could be a SWAT vehicle. I don't know. But there's no ambulances. Here's an ambulance in front of Hooters. EMT sitting inside. Let's see. El Paso Fire Department ambulance. Could be the same one. Yeah. RR29, RR29. Just the same ambulance. Here's one over here. That's Hooters. So we've found 2 ambulances over by the Hooters. Look how these guys are dressed. That's frightening. Let's see here. Well, I thought it was going to be a short video. Guess it's not. So, let's see here. It's lots of stuff. Here's the guy that talks with his whole body all the time, Beto O'Rourke. He's a strange one, in my opinion. No one was shot inside the Cielo Vista Mall or on its property, according to Simon Property Group. Simon Property Group owns lots of malls all around the country. Can't believe that. Ugh. So, okay, found the right article. Just a minute. Let's see what Schumer said. I saw his name. So right now they're backing off, coming out with all the gun control just immediately. They were learning. They're getting better at how they respond to this because people are sick of it. Let's see. Oh yeah, earlier I couldn't think of it. Posse comitatus means that the military is not allowed to act like the police. But for whatever reason, it looks like the military there. And this lady says police officers, military, and the SWAT team could be seen in her storefront windows. All right, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about Simon Property Group. 4,000 people were said to be inside the facility at the time. That's a lot of people. So we saw the image of the mall and of the Walmart. How many people were in the Walmart? Let's see. Don't see any blood in the parking lot. Haven't seen any blood. Only the few drops on that lady's pants. I did see one lady in a video being, you know, those carts, they move stuff around in Walmart. She was being taken out, and she pointed on her leg. It looked like a little spot, like a bullet hole, but there was no blood around it. Strange. You know, again, all these things are just so many of them. All these people lost blood, but we don't see really any blood. Very curious. In recent months, El Paso has become one of the busiest entry points for illegal invaders. Now, that might make you uncomfortable because the guy in his manifesto, and you probably heard it on the news, called them invaders. And I've been stressing they're invaders. How about that? Does that make you uncomfortable now? Well, they are invaders. And we don't know that that guy wrote that article. Just find it very interesting. So, anyway, there's the article. Let's see what comments are saying. People still buy this stuff, you know. I sadly see no end in sight to these horrific events. Easy access to millions of weapons, mental issues, hearts filled with hate, red flags ignored. This eats away at our country every time it happens, and politicians on both sides do nothing but play the blame game and point fingers. You know, more people drown every year. More people get struck by lightning than they do die by, or die in car accidents, or die from cigarettes than from these shootings. Just remember that. Take it easy. You know, the Lord's in control. If you're going to get shot and that's the way he's got planned for you to go, that's your appointment of how you go, well, you don't have to worry. That's the time. That's, you know, he doesn't make mistakes. I hope you don't get shot. I hope you live out a long life, very productive life, a happy life, and that you die in your sleep. Let's see if that's how you want to go. Let's see. Why is the media covering what his manifesto says? I don't know that they are. This is why crazy people do this. Stop sharing his message. Let's see. We're 219 days into 2019. We've had 250 shootings. Now this is a person who's a repeater, and that's not really true. We heard what's his name? George Papadopoulos? No, maybe that it. Stephanopoulos, Papadopoulos, whatever. The guy on one of the CBS shows or ABC shows, does a morning show. He said that about the Garlic Festival shooting, and it's just not true. Okay, so all right, there you go. This was the addendum. Some other things I wanted to point out, that the thing about the ambulances, the lack of blood, the lack of tears, the fact that the witnesses have there's witnesses. We're supposed to believe all the other things everybody says, but when a woman says that I'm standing in line, I saw 4 guys in black come in with guns, and then that'll disappear. It's in the Daily Mail. Is it on NBC, CBS, Fox? I don't think so. Guy look like a mind control victim? I don't know. They often have this strange look in their face, don't they? Here he is here. Here he is there. White shirt, blue shirt. Give him a change of clothes? I don't know. Maybe. Looks thinner here. Looks a little... So, it's hard to tell. Again, it's just something to be on the lookout for. Who is the real shooter? Who is that guy? Is he a fall guy? You know, do they have his brain scrambled? It could be. So that's it. That's all I got. Guess we got an hour video here again. Another hour. Well, don't worry about it. Make a nice evening.